you remember the stories on Thomas and the jet engine? Work with each engine to match the correct answer with the question. Use the up and down arrow keys to select the right answer and press enter when you think you've chosen the right one. Good luck. I'm Bulgy, and I was very excited when Sir Topham entrusted me to carry passengers to their destinations around the island. Unfortunately, I had some other visitors who disrupted the passengers. Do you remember who disrupted the passengers by climbing on board while I was asleep? That's right. Chickens climbed on board while I was fast asleep. When you were watching Thomas and the jet engine, you saw me jet very quickly around the island. Boy, was that an adventure. Do you remember what I was carrying that caused me to move so fast? You got it. When Cranky ignited the big silver jet engine, it accidentally started, and I sped off so fast, I was a blur to all those I passed. I felt very left out when all the engines were getting ready for a big party on the island, and I couldn't help. But then I was called into action to help transport an animal that was in need. Do you remember what that animal was? You got it. It was a horse. I was upset when Thomas and Percy were making fun of me for my seafaring ways, but I really got to prove myself when Fergus and I worked to fix this item when it stopped working during the storm. Can you remember what we helped to fix? It was the lighthouse. The ships can't see the island without this, so it was very important that this was fixed. I teased Percy for being scared of ghosts, but then I ran into something down at the smelter shed that really spooked me. What was it I ran into? Yes, those chains really frightened me when I accidentally ran into them. Do you remember what it was that scared me when I was down at the mine? Yes, those gnomes really scared me. But then, when I found out they were harmless, I brought them back to help decorate the station. That was fun. You did a great job. Are you good at counting? You can be really useful in helping me count items that appeared in episodes of Thomas and the Jet Engine. In this counting corner game, you will see different scenes from the stories and be asked to count the items that appear in the scenes. Use the up and down arrow keys to select the correct answer. Here we go. Do you remember when Percy became frightened by the gnomes in the episode Percy in the Haunted Mine? How many gnomes do you see in this scene? That's right. There are two gnomes. I asked Bulgy to carry passengers around the island of Sodor, and he was very excited. Can you count the number of passengers waiting to get on board, Bulgy? You've got it. There are 4 people ready to board, Bulgy. When Thomas jetted around the island, he saw many things. Here, there are some children crossing the bridge who stopped to wave to Thomas. How many children do you see? Great job. You're an excellent counter. There are 4 children on the bridge. Harold was very useful when his help was needed for the party. Do you see how many horses Harold is carrying to the party? Yes, Harold only carried 1 horse. That was enough for one day. In the story, Bulgy rides again. How many chickens do you see climbing on board Bulgy? Yes, we see 6 chickens climbing on board Bulgy here. When Thomas accidentally jetted around the island, he was also carrying some cargo. How many large boxes do you see Thomas carrying? Yes, Thomas is carrying 2 large cargo boxes. When Harold was flying over the island on the day of the party, he flew high up in the sky. Can you count the clouds in the sky here? You've got it. Harold is flying up there with 4 big fluffy clouds. Scaredy Engines, the engines are celebrating Halloween. There are decorations and jack-o'-lanterns all around the island of Sodor. Can you count how many jack-o'-lanterns you see here? That's right. There are 3 jack-o'-lanterns. You have terrific counting skills. Excellent job. Come back again soon. Are you ready to test your memory again? This is a fun one. You'll need to think back very carefully and put the scenes in the order in which they occurred during the stories of Thomas and the Jet Engine. Use the left and right arrow key to select your answer. If you are in need of help, click on the hint button in the bottom left-hand corner to hear a clue that will help you answer the question. Have fun! I was disappointed not to be part of the fun and preparations for the party, but when one of the horses got stuck, I transported him to the party so that he could give rides to the children. I felt very useful. Which of these 3 scenes occurred first in Harold and the Flying Horse? Remember, you can click on the hint button to hear a clue if you're having trouble picking the right answer. You've got it. Great job. Do you remember what happened next? Remember, you can click on the hint button for help. That's right. I transported the horse to the party so he could give horseback rides to the guests. By now, you should be pretty familiar with what happened in Thomas and the Jet Engine. Can you choose what happened first in this episode? That's right. Cranky was loading a special delivery onto my car. A jet engine. Can you remember what happened next? Yes, Cranky accidentally turned on the switch to the jet engine, and I sped off. Do you remember when Fergus and I ran into a terrible storm in the story Salty Stormy Tale? The lighthouse went out, and the lighthouse keeper was very upset. Can you choose which one of these 3 scenes occurred first? That's right. I went off to pick up Fergus from the smelter's yard. What happened next? That's it. Fergus and I worked very hard to fix the lighthouse so the fishermen could steer their boat away from the island, and I was very happy to have helped. Sir Topham entrusted me to carry passengers to their destinations, and I was very happy. But then there was a mishap, and the passengers were disrupted. Can you put these scenes in the order in which they occurred in the story Bulgy Rides Again? Remember, you can click on the hint button if you get stuck. Yes, the chickens caused me to crash, and the passengers weren't very happy. What happened next? My poor passengers were covered with feathers, so Sir Topham decided I'd go back to being the refreshment stand, and I was very happy about that. Boy, was I frightened in the story Scaredy Engines. Do you remember what happened first in this story? That's right. Percy, Duck, and I went to the smelter's yard to collect scrap. Do you remember what happened after that? Yes. When those chains frightened me, I raced back to the sheds. Later, when I realized all was okay, I watched the fireworks with my friend Percy. I had to pass the spooky old abandoned quarry mine on my way to pick up shrubs to decorate the station in the story Percy and the Haunted Mine. Of the 3 scenes below, which one happened first? You got it. I was traveling by the mine, and I was very frightened. And then what happened? Those gnomes really scared me. But once I realized they were harmless, I simply brought them back to the station with me and used them for decorations. They were a big hit. Congratulations. You did a great job.